But at the same time, I want to take it back a step and go to the Warzone playoffs from CollegeCoD. Queen's University from Canada, us Canadian schools and our problems we have up here. Uh, were they cheating?
So obviously we didn't, we didn't take any action. We didn't convict anyone. Um, so if we had, there'd be a whole Axe the Admin post detailing what happened and penalties and things like that. We're not fully, whenever it comes to cheating accusations and cases, we're not ever like fully transparent in all the evidence and everything we investigate. But we do make it public when we do take action. Um, I have like a lot of the information and like data and stats we went through. I'm not gonna like fully deep dive into that because we'd be here for hours.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I'll like dive into addressing that. I think I talked some about it on like social media whenever it was going down. Um, the cheating accusation, to rehash for anyone who isn't familiar or is forgetful. The cheating accusation came from the tracker data, one of the pod tracker, one of the public matches APIs. And it was basically, okay, they have a whole bunch of really low KD lobbies back to
Yeah.
back, which seems like they were doing something to manipulate their matchmaking.
I just want to say my piece about it because, like I said, I was pretty involved in this, and like our team, we were like top 5, I'm pretty sure, in the points heading into the qualifier. We thought that things were gonna go pretty well. They didn't. We ended up coming in like 8th or something. But nonetheless, like I think something that people have glanced over a little too much about it. Like I keep on hearing people be like, "Yo, if this was private match lobbies, Queens wouldn't have been able to like stack up against everyone else." Queens in, I want to say, was it just the first 2 weeks that were private match, I think? Queens came 4th in the second week, which was private match lobbies.
Mhm.
Like, it's not like they were doing, like, completely horrible beforehand. They came 4th in the first one, or sorry, in the second one, 14th in the first one, but, like, the first one, I'm pretty sure they didn't have Narc, who played in the rest of it. So they were playing with a sub during that, and I don't think Sue's really a Warzone player. They just had one Warzone player. So just like,
GXN.
yeah, with Jackson, and we were kind of the same way, and I think a lot of the top 10 teams were, where a lot of the schools like VCU and Northwood, which obviously is a bit different, but had like one Warzone player and then 2 guys that just could shoot back, basically. And it takes a few weeks for the Warzone player to help those people figure out what the hell they're doing on the map, in all honesty. So it makes sense that they got better as things went on. That's not to say that it's not sus. Don't get me wrong. Like, those lobbies, sus, but the fact that there was a background check into it and they were showing geolocation and all that, there's nothing that we can be like definitive, like, wow, you must have been cheating. Like, how shitty would it be to disqualify someone just to find out that, oh, well, they just got lobby luck one day? That's not to say it doesn't sound ridiculous, because I get that the 0.9, that's a lot. 0.9, 0.8 lobbies. Like, we were rocking 1.3s all day. And the week that we won, I think we were rocking 1.3s. But like, I just think there was no way to give a definitive ruling to be like, hey, Queens is cheating. And so
Yeah.
you kind of just got to let
So
up at some point.
so we actually took a different approach to this. The the conclusion we came to was not, okay, this tracker data is or isn't proof that a team is cheating. What we found was the tracker data itself is just incredibly unreliable. So we actually, Deet and I went through a deep dive of all of the matches and KDs and data available for all of their matches, and we also did this for like 7 other teams here too. I think Daniel also helped me. Daniel Exile helped me with this a little bit as well. And what we found was a large number of these games, any game that they had a low KD in. So if a game had like a less than a 1.0 KD, a large number of the players in the tracker had no data. So if you only, in like many of these games had like 50 or 6, if you had a less than a 1.0 KD on average, less than a 3/4 of the data was available. And if you had a lobby, and this is like without fail, like every instance of this, if you had a lobby with a high KD, 1.2, 1.3, the majority, like over 90%, 80-90% of the data was available. So what that led to suggest, and this is like this pattern was like without fail across all of their matches. We went through qualifier 3 to playoffs because we couldn't do qualifier 1 and 2 because that's
Is
private
this
matches.
that image you sent us here?
Yeah, that's the image if you want to throw that up.
Let me pull this up.
So what that seems to suggest is that these 0.8, 0.9 KDs, if the tracker had their actual data, the average lobby would have actually been a 1.1, a 1.2, a 1.3.
Oh.
So the conclusion we kind of came to was this average 0.8 KD lobby that it says is deceptive and not accurate. Which is kind of like the crux of the like conclusion we came to, is that not that there's hard evidence that they were or weren't cheating, but that the evidence people were using as evidence was not reliable evidence. This trend of data corresponding with the accuracy of the data corresponding to with the lobby KD across like we checked like I think it was like 8 teams, 9 teams that we checked. I think I spent like a good like 8 or 9 hours like going through and just manually copying all this data from the tracker site.
Damn.
It's impressive that you guys look that far into it and actually put thought into it rather than just going off random clips or what people say. Like, the fact that you guys are actually doing the math behind it is impressive.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will put this one to rest.
Yep.
It is very we do this kind of like deep dive for basically every like somewhat credible accusation. There's accusations that we just like throw out. There's just like immediately obvious there's nothing here, and it's just someone upset they lost. But for anything that's like somewhat credible, we do deep dives as much as we can. I mean, it's never going to be 100% perfect. That's the nightmare of running online events.
So, are you willing to confirm whether McMaster University was explored last year? Don't actually say it. Don't.
We looked.
Oh,
no action was taken.
Due diligence, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. If we take action, like we make it apparent, so that everyone knows about it.
It's good to know that you guys are that thorough, though.
No, it's really impressive. Like, I don't think a lot of leagues go that far into things like that. So,
I don't think a lot of people know in general that.
Yeah, like, I didn't know.
Go that in depth. People just are probably like, dude, these guys don't fucking check anything.
Like, yeah. No, but it's definitely impressive on the side of you guys, and kudos to you for doing that.